another Bring Me the Horizon track. Post-Human Survival Horror continues to be one of my favorite albums. I leaned into it heavily during the pandemic. And these new tracks preceding the new album so far have been just awesome. Every single one of them. Oli's voice keeps getting better and better, too. Let's see what we got. Their production is just... I should come to expect it by now. I mean, right off, things are simultaneously so simple, yet when you take a second to listen to more, the vocal layering, all the little twinkly things happening, so much fun. Listen to the octave above the main line, but also listen, if you're listening in good headphones, which you should be, listen to the panning of the vocals and the mild distortion that's gluing his voice to the front of this mix. You really get a sense for what a large part his breathing is in this line because of how compressed and distorted these calm vocals are. Ooh, gotta hear that transition again. That line, and particularly the rhythmic makeup of it, reminds me of a recently covered Papa Roach tune by one of my other favorite artists. Don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding. Don't give a fuck if my heart stops beating. Begging you to stay. Can't trust myself tonight. My heart keeps breaking. Ooh, let's go over that chorus again. There's a lot going on in terms of pitch screaming. This is all pitch screaming, singing with distortion to different degrees. I want to help you access this if you're interested in doing stuff like that. And if you want to go deeper with the foundations necessary to get this kind of stuff out of your own voice, click the link below and join my free voice course. I'll help you with support, I'll help you with resonance, all things you need to sing with distortion correctly, safely, and expressively. So let's just take that, the notes, clean. Hey, I'm begging you to stay. That top note where he breaks up. This isn't about saying, I'm gonna push harder alone to get distortion. It's so broken up and it's so different from his clean voice. So if we actually back off pressure while we're reaching for that note. Hey, I'm and don't quite hit it and let our voice crack. Let it crack horribly. Hey, I'm begging you to stay. And be really ugly with it. Then practice leaning in right at the point you feel your voice breaking. Practice leaning into the crack. Hey, I'm begging you to stay. This takes time to develop, but you can hear in what I'm doing as I lean into that break, I can manage to get the pitch in there at the same time as all the false chord engagement. Same thing there. And there. So right there, you hear the, I can't trust myself tonight! Even if you can't hit those notes cleanly, try to not hit them cleanly. I can't trust myself tonight! And let yourself be sloppy with it, and embrace all the cracking and breaking that happens. Can't trust myself tonight. My heart keeps breaking. Can you tell me how to let you get? I love that line. Let's add a little bit of that desperation that he's got there. Now, that technique is a little bit different than the one I just covered. The one I just covered, we're sort of pushing up to a point where our voice cracks and then leaning into it. Here, we're going to sigh down to those notes a little bit. So if we just work on speaking this line. Can you talk me off the ledge again? Can you talk me off the ledge again? All these little artifacts that are happening, right? Can you talk me off the ledge again? So I'm still breaking, but I'm sighing into this break. Can you talk me off the ledge again? Now I'm going to try to maintain pitch. So clean. Can you talk me off the ledge again? Don't worry if you're not sounding exactly the way you want to sound. This stuff is ugly when you're dialing it in. Can you talk me off the ledge again? Now I'm going to sigh more into it and embrace those imperfections and inefficiencies. Sigh, sigh. Can you talk me off the ledge again? Oh, and it gets so nasty. The key is we want to embrace what doesn't sound good while we're dialing this in and continue to feel out the difference between our clean singing and our sighs. As long as we're sighing into this and not letting ourselves tense into forcing a particular sound, that sound will come. And you saw it starting to develop even as I was continuing to sigh and continuing to compare the differences in sensation between clean and side. Listen how abandoned he was there on Heart Stops Beating on the background vocals. But it's a lot closer to, if my heart stops beating, than it is anything else, right? This complete abandonment. Resignation, right? That's what we're sensing. And that's what this sigh, this well-supported sigh, helps to communicate and helps you experience. Another cool thing about what he does, if we listen to that over and over again, there's this breath pressure release after what he's doing. We can tell he's using a lot of compression on his screams. He's compressing into those sighs and those screams because we hear the excess come out at the end. Over and over. Or Here comes the breakdown. Also, if we really focus in on the production, the doubling that's happening with those screams helps fill out some of the imperfections that you would hear if it was only one Oli doing those screams. Keep that in mind as you're dialing this stuff in. Now there's some good non-pitched. You can also sigh into that approach. But the difference is we're not re-engaging or trying to re-engage our primary chords. We're leaving them out. Just false chord engagement there. One more time. Now that is the same type of pitch scream. It's just that he's leaning way harder into the false chord sensation than he is trying to dial it back for pitch. When I'm gone! You can still hear that pitch cracking in and out. But if we really abandon over to the false chord engagement, which again, I can help you with moderating your support so that you can do this correctly if you join my free course, linked in the video description. But listen again to Gone. When I'm gone, no, that's the implied note, but it's hardly there. When I'm gone, you really can't hear the note that much. You could hear me the first time I did it, dial it in a little bit, remove the primary chords. This is a balancing act. So fun to play with once you start finding this balancing act. Can't trust myself tonight. You hear that very, very faintly in the background. That octave, that intensity. Can't trust myself. Can you tell me off the ledge again? Brilliant and catchy. So looking forward to the new album. Again, if you would like more help with your voice so that you can start to approach this level of singing, click the link below and join my free course. We'll see you for more.